In this video, we'll be talking about what a grid system is and how you can use one to make a professional looking website. Hey, what's up? I'm Mark Terabellini, and I'm all about achieving financial independence through real estate investing and online business. So if you're new to the channel and you're looking to achieve financial freedom for yourself, be sure to like and subscribe and you will not miss a thing. So when you're looking to build a more professional looking website, you need a foundation to build your website off of. You can't just throw things up on the page and hope it looks good. You need that foundation to build a structure on top of, to add consistency and organization and just overall clarity and a cohesive feel of the website, so people kind of know what to expect when they're looking at your site and they're not thrown off by all these weird kind of things. And basically this is pulled from newspaper and magazine design from back in the day. So you have like those columns of text that you read, and there's maybe like a little section for ads down here. It's kind of like cut into pieces for the content, and basically we borrowed from that to make the transition to the web a little bit easier. And to make it a little bit easier to describe, we'll look at the computer here. So here I have a blank canvas in Figma, and Figma is a free design program that you can download, and you can actually do this right along with me if you like to. So basically you would download it, and I'll create a new frame here just so you know what to do. So basically go over here, add a new frame. I'm going to go over and do, I think I'll do, desktop here. Okay, clicked on desktop and that's there. And what you want to do is add a layout grid. So we'll add that in. We'll click on this guy here and change it to columns. And as far as the number of columns go, usually you want to do 12 because that gives you the greatest flexibility. 12 is divided by obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. So you have a lot of options as far as content within that. So we'll go ahead and change this to 12 columns. Okay, and what we want to do from there is add some margin. And so margin is basically like spacing on the sides. If you want your design to be full width, it takes up the whole width of the page, you would put no margin. But if you want like a little bit of spacing on the sides and your content centered in the middle, then you add a little bit of margin. So what I'll do is I'll add 200 pixels of margin on each side. And down here you'll see gutters, and gutters is basically spacing between all the different columns. So this, watch when I change this here to 30, the white space got a little bit bigger. We'll go ahead and change it back to 20. But that's basically what that does. So you have the columns here, and then the gutters in the middle, and then margin on the sides. And so when you're creating, I'll just draw out some shapes here so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. Close this. So you can draw out a section here. Let's say like this is the top of your website. This would be like an image, and it takes up the full 12 columns. But let's say after that you want to add a few more smaller columns. You can basically create another one here, and we can make it, let's make it 4 columns, and then we can repeat that 3 times. And you also want to pay attention. So we have 20 pixels for the gutters here. So when I move this up, you want to keep that consistency with that spacing. So we'll do another 20 pixels. If you hold shift in the down arrow, you get 10 pixels. So there's 20 pixels. And see how that gutter space is 20 pixels and is equal up here on the top. So it keeps it nice and organized, and the same spacing everywhere, and consistency is key with this really. So that's basically what you would do. And this can be split up in all kinds of different ways. So we can do it again, and this could take up half the page basically. So 6 and 6. And again, you can move it up. So you can organize it any way you want, and just use this grid system to kind of build this out, and makes it look a lot more professional. Now that said, you can break the grid if it makes sense. So if you were to break the grid, a good example would be, let's say this here is your image, and they call it like a hero image, basically, or your hero section. You can break the grid and make this full width. And you see that a lot on websites today. So this would be like the image at the top of the website, and then you have some content down here and down here. And these don't have to be images. Like this could be text, this could be a text section, maybe a headline, some text, or it could be an image with a headline and text. And this could be like icons with like a little bit of a text blurb below. So it could be these are basically just containers for content. You can put anything you want in here basically. And then basically this grid system helps you kind of just organize all that into a nice, organized, cohesive fashion. So that is basically what a grid system is. I highly recommend you follow it, especially when you're learning. It'll help your designs look a lot more professional and move things forward for you a little bit easier. So if you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.